So this is one of those first episodes that you definitely enter the episode pretty much right away saying, what in the actual hell? And by the time you end the episode, you leave saying, what in the actual hell did I just watch? And I had a pretty good idea of what the show was going to be prior to it even kind of coming out. I just had a suspicion it was going to be a little wild. I just wasn't exactly sure how wild it would be, obviously, and to see the brutality of this show, definitely, it was surprising in some senses for sure, but I mean, seeing the buzz about the episode yesterday, I just knew, like, people were going crazy because there was clearly a lot of death in this. And I think PA Works and originals kind of go hand in hand these days, so you know they're going to be good in some way, but I will say PA Works has definitely kind of stepped outside their comfort zones more often these days, and this show is batshit wild and has some of the craziest anime characters I think I've seen in some time. Not in the way that they appear to be psycho at face value. It's like the manager of this little maid cafe that pig themed, I guess, probably because they're very much looked down upon, given that it kind of feels like they're all connected with these different cafes. But the fact of the matter is, this new girl who joins just has like these dreams of being, you know, a little girl in a maid cafe. It's what she always wanted to do. She sends her on essentially a suicide mission on her first day and immediately starts putting out flyers for her replacement. Like, the psycho level of insanity that some of these characters are already radiating is insane to say the least. I don't think I've ever seen any story do a idol song in the way that this episode just did. And in a lot of ways, it reminded me of Lollipop Chainsaw. If anyone's ever played that game, it's a zombie killing game where Tara Strong is the voice actress and you just, in a sexy outfit, kill a bunch of zombies. But the way music and sound effects and stuff are used in that game, it gave me a very similar feeling to the end montage of this first episode, because when you have this character, Ranko, who's just shooting to the beat of the song, and then you'll transition to the characters playing like the tambourine and shit, and just the way the gunshots added onto the song beats, it was insane. Like, it's not just like the characters dying and seeing a bunch of blood. Like, yeah, we've seen anime, gory anime at that. That's not really the shocking element to me. It's more so the juxtaposition of having cute maids kill people in the way that they did, but the fact that it wasn't even just that visual shocking element, the fact that they used the idol group music, the idol dances, and the beats to add on to the gunplay. This seems to be a show that we're going to watch where rival maid cafes are going to get into shootouts, and the fact that we will probably have multiple songs where the carnage that is happening on screen is going to go alongside the gunplay, the explosions, the knife plays, whatever's going to happen, is kind of wild. And I think this is one of the most insane first episodes that this year has going for it. I mean, maid cafes and that type of show, like, I've seen those types of series before, don't get me wrong. But it's not just the fact that, you know, you have maids killing each other in brutal environments, it's the fact that they literally are taking the piss on just the whole concept in general, and the fact that you can have like this parody in a lot of ways of how they're performing these songs or the way this business is being run. You have the general day-to-day activities of maid cafe shenanigans, and then when the debt collector comes to take his payback and you can't pay, well, you send your new girl to deliver a message that basically says, bitch please, bow down and worship me, as guns get pulled. Love what this first episode did for sheer entertainment value alone. Of course, it's hard to say where a story like this will go, because, I mean, are we going to end up loving the characters? Are we going to see crazy character arcs? Is there going to be an overarching narrative beyond just rival maid cafes killing each other in shenanigan-like ways, as this girl is literally being held hostage, almost like she joined a cult unwillingly, and now she can't leave the front door because literally the person who just scared you shitless is now your roommate, and your boss that just hired you sent you to basically to see the Grim Reaper on your first day. There isn't a lot of freedom for this girl right now, and I think that's an intriguing premise that has a lot of potential, but I think often these types of shows, they wait a little too long to reveal that grand punchline. I mean, sometimes it works. I can think of cases like Talentless Nana where you don't see the punchline coming until the very end of the first episode, but it works to get you excited for more. But then there can be other cases where maybe you get that reveal at the end, but maybe there was too much boring fluff to build up to that, so you're like, okay, am I really going to care about this show? This starts off the first couple of minutes seeing maids get gunned down and bloodied and beaten, so you knew what to expect throughout the entire episode. which was a smart way to go about it because most of the episode was typical Maid shenanigans, and it's nothing that I'd normally want to watch an episode, let alone make a video over. But to see how you knew shit was about to hit the fan well before this main character did, it's one of those things that when it finally happened, you know, you just couldn't help but sit back, smile, and say, what the hell am I watching, but goddamn, do I need to see more of this? Like, you just know PA Works is going to hit out of the park every season they touch a show, right? It just feels they're one of the best in the business, if you ask me. But to see how they're definitely pushing the boundaries, and in a lot of ways, it kind of feels like the recoil of the season if you came off of Summer there and just that amazing production from A1. And I'm very excited to see what they're going to do with this one because it feels like it's going to be a harmony blend of normal Maid Cafe, but then shit's gonna hit the fan and people are gonna kill themselves and kill others, and just the chaos that could mix into that. Where the hell do you go with a story like that? And honestly, I have no idea. But I find it very bold, I find it very original, that an episode like this can make you leave just as confused as when you started out, but saying, how do I not want to see more? Because I absolutely do. Like, as soon as the opening kicked in, I knew we were in for a banger because it just was so goofy. Like, it was in a similar way to the end of the episode when the gunplay was going alongside the beat. I love the fact that it was just such a, visually just didn't match up to sometimes the song that was playing, but the way it kind of like bounced around, it's just, I just have a feeling that this is going to be a great music anime without being overly dominated by the music aspect of it. Like, I think the way the soundtrack's going to be mixed and matched with the carnage, but also maybe even some of the more mundane scenes, like, I think it's so brilliant the fact that it wasn't even just like the music was playing and we were only focusing on a girl shooting guns, but rather we saw the mundane aspects of the Maid Cafe. And the fact that those two sides are just as important to each other is gonna be kind of insane. But I like it when anime's fresh. I like it when anime understands that it can be batshit wild. It can have a panda just lounging around a maid cafe, and people may say, well, it's a maid cafe. Of course that's normal, but we know it's not. And to see that it ends up being one of the most normal aspects to this bloodthirsty show, I'm pretty excited. I think it has a pretty distinct art style. There's nothing overly highly detailed about any particular shot. It has this more rough around the edges approach to it and a more grainy filter, it kind of feels like, but it works so well to make it feel a little off, but still feel anime, like a maid cafe, what you would expect. And then when shit hits the fan, the way they stylize the animation, the spinning, the camera movements, and then just the pure slasher horror images that this girl could sometimes look at, and all she can say is, damn, I forgot to take off my bib. I mean, it's hard not to have a grin watching this, right? Big question people will ask me, am I going to cover this one episode by episode? Honestly, it depends on how this video performs. If you want to see videos on this one, be sure to hit the like, be sure to leave a comment, get it in the algorithm, get it being promoted, because there's a lot of great shows to talk about this season, and this could easily be a show that maybe is fun to talk about the first couple of episodes, but maybe dies down later. But if the demand's there, and I see people want it, I will definitely go to my way to add this to the review schedule. But if it doesn't perform well, it's just nature of the business at this point. There's too much to choose from, and I'll have to cut my losses. But I would like to discuss this one if I can, so please like, comment, all that fun jazz, share it if you want, because this is a show that I think would be very fun to talk about week by week. But thoughts and feelings, and if you got any, those goddamn theories, because there's a lot to probably think about going forward. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around here. Until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.